Wondering the best places to go with your kids in Northern California? Well, I'm here to tell you. Hi everybody, it's Lisa Zamora with PMZ Real Estate here in Northern California, and having lived here my whole life, I have a couple of places that I think you should really check out with your kiddos. Number 1, San Francisco, the city by the bay. I love San Francisco. It is like the place to get away from the Central Valley heat in the summer, or a place to get away from the crisp cold in the winter, because it has that wonderful marine layer that likes to keep it a nice comfy temperature all year long. Now, the possibilities of things to do in San Francisco are pretty endless depending on what your family likes to do. But a couple of my recommendations are Pier 39, and definitely go see the sea lions when you're there, and the Exploratorium. Number 2, Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan of the beach boardwalk until I actually had kids. Having kids at the boardwalk is so much fun. You can watch them go crazy over all the rides and the games. They have this huge arcade that the kids just love to spend hours in. And with the games, you can win so many cute little plushie prizes. I have a ton because of it. Now, everybody loves the deep fried food, and in the summertime, you'll love the beach. So definitely make sure that you check out Santa Cruz. If you're into a little bit more naturey or down-to-earth sort of beach fun, I would suggest going a little further from Santa Cruz into what's called Natural Bridges State Park. Natural Bridges is one of my favorite places to be. It is so beautiful, and here's a couple of pictures of my family spending some time there. Natural Bridges is on the monarch butterfly migration path. So at certain times of the year, you can see all these monarch butterflies stopping to rest during their migration. Did you even know that butterflies migrate? They do. Really far, actually. There's also tide pools here at the park, and I love taking my kids to see tide pools. Tide pools are a big thing for me, and be able to find some for my kids, they're so awesome. Number 4 is another naturey place to be, and that's Yosemite National Park. Yosemite is a bit of a drive from the Central Valley, but it's totally worth it, and you can make a weekend out of it by camping at the campsites there. There's tons of hiking trails and beautiful scenes, and to teach your kids all about the beauty that is California. The next one on my list is Big Trees, and I'm serious, that's really the name of it. Big Trees State Park is exactly what it sounds like. It is a collection of California's huge, and I mean giant, redwoods. They are beautiful, and it is the perfect place to take your kids to just sit and take in the majesty that is the redwoods. This next one's a little bit closer to home for those of us who live in the Central Valley, and that is Old Sacramento. Old Sacramento is a slice of history preserved perfectly. It is the Wild West of the gold rush, sitting on the bank of the river in Sacramento. And it's basically 2 streets that have never really progressed with time. They've been preserved. So you can walk along these wooded plank sidewalks and these cobblestone roads as horse-drawn carriages walk by you, and it's so cool. If you do go, I would suggest taking the kids to the California Railway Museum, which is located right there, and they can walk along and see the locomotives. There's even a steam engine that runs, typically on busier days, so mostly on the weekends. I would definitely check its schedule if that's something you really want to see. Another place that I suggest you go if you're really okay with sugar high kids is Candy Haven. Candy Haven is this candy store that has these big barrels full of candy, saltwater taffy, all kinds of different candies, and your kids can just take it all in, and it's so much fun. Number 7 is Monterey Bay and Monterey Bay Aquarium. Monterey is this beautiful little seaside city, and it is perfect to just stroll around and enjoy the shops and the temperatures and everything about it. The aquarium is its crowning glory. The aquarium is huge. It'll take you like almost a full day to walk around it and really appreciate everything that they have there. And they're all about preserving California's coast and California's waters. So the exhibits there really bring home how important our sea life and our sea critters are to us. They have touch pools that the little ones can play in. if you can catch the rays, that is. I've never been able to catch one, and I've been there a lot. There's also otters that they can watch, all sorts of jellyfish. It is really a beautiful place to be. Most schools will do a trip to Monterey Bay at some point. So if you can't get it on your own, they definitely will do it at school because it is such a good place to learn. This next one is for you thrill seeker families out there, and that is Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Six Flags is a relatively well-known chain of amusement parks, and this one's no different. It's a collection of all sorts of thrill rides, from roller coasters to droppy rides to all sorts of things. But they do have a section for the little ones to go to, so don't feel like you have to have older kids in order to really fully enjoy it. This next one is one of Mom's personal favorites, and that is Apple Hill. Apple Hill is the perfect location to go all year round because they have little events every single season, from lavender days to blueberry days, blackberry days, and of course in the fall, apples. The apples here are delicious and not to be missed, but don't think that it's just a bunch of orchards, which it is because there's a lot of them up there. There's a lot of little farms that you can hit that have a multitude of different things available to you, from fresh apple ciders to pies to donuts to all sorts of things. Your kiddos won't be too upset about the car ride because they get to have some really, really delicious treats. Now, I can't mention things to do in California without mentioning the lakes. We have a bunch of different lakes all over the place that you can go to. Now, California is a relatively warm state, especially in the summertime, so we need places to get away from the heat, and our lakes are perfect places to do that. A couple of ones nearby are Comanche, Lake Pardee, Lake Hogan, and Lake Folsom, among others, but those are just the ones off the top of my head. Now, if you really want to drive, you can go to Lake Tahoe for sure, but that's a bit of a stretch, and you're going to want to probably make a weekend out of it for sure. Want a list that's a little bit closer to home? Click here for my top 5 things to do in Lodi.